Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I am going to be doing my 1 year of the channel Q&A video, which I said I was going to be doing a little bit ago. Recently on August 7th of this year, I surpassed 1 year of doing this YouTube channel. And so to celebrate, I thought I would do a little Q&A video. A few people did leave questions, which was super awesome. Because I record my videos on my phone, I can't use it to actually read off the questions, so I wrote them down on a piece of notebook paper. That's how I'm going to be reading these questions. So 3 people left questions, so thank you to the 3 of you for leaving some questions for me. So to get started, we have something from @JeremyCamp0206, which says, "Congratulations, you're doing a great job. Thank you. I'm curious, do you have any advice to those that want to start their own channel, such as equipment, software, planning videos, and things of that nature?" So, not really, to be honest. As I said, I record my videos on my phone. I've actually, in the past, when I've had other YouTube channels, I have done more extensive stuff than I do with this channel. Well, not really much more extensive, but I would just, set up my camera on like my laptop or whatever and then edit the videos. But I would do more extensive editing than I do on here. As far as what I do, I literally do just about everything from my phone. Record my videos on my phone, edit them in iMovie, make my thumbnails in my phone as well using the Photoshop app for iPhone. And all that stuff. And so that's really, if you just want to stick to the basics, that's really all you need in terms of equipment. If you want to get, more into it, then, you could get a nice, fancy camera and fancy editing equipment, which again, I just use iMovie. But as far as something for like a computer, DaVinci Resolve is a good editing software that is completely free as far as I'm aware, that I've used a little bit before. That works very well. Otherwise, I don't have a whole lot of recommendations in terms of equipment because, again, I don't use a whole lot of equipment or software. I just use my phone and go. As far as planning, I don't do a whole lot of pre-planning with my videos. I usually, with my book reviews, I usually will just take my written review that I've already done and use that kind of as my way to get my thoughts out and just write down the stuff that I am interested in talking about with a book. And then I basically just adapt that into video format and usually going into a bit more depth with some of my points or maybe adding a couple things here or there if they pop up just spontaneously as I'm talking. And in terms of other videos like planning, basically just, some of my videos I'll just think about, for a little while before I do them. If I do more of a discussion-based video, where I'm not like doing a ranking or I'm not doing a review or something like that, then I'll just kind of, throughout the day as I'm planning to do that video later in the day, I'll just kind of think about, oh, these are the things I might want to say, the things I want to talk about, what I want to say about those things, all that stuff. Really, I don't do a whole lot of pre-planning when it comes to my videos, but for some people it helps to have a script. I don't typically do scripts for my videos. I have tried that before on some of my old channels and I did not like how it turned out. I don't think I sound very good reading from a script. I prefer to do kind of the more free-form sort of thing. But some people, having a script works better. And if you're planning to do like, if you wanted to do, say, a video essay or something like that, then a script would be super helpful for that. But, for me, it's never worked out. But for some people, it works better. Or even if you just want to have a middle ground, just have like a list of notes or something to talk about, that works fine for some people too. So just kind of seeing whatever works best for you, I would say, in terms of planning out what to do with videos, whether you want to just kind of turn the camera on and go like I do, or have a list of notes right in front of you that you can reference, or actually script it out, things like that. It kind of just depends on the person. So I guess that is my hopefully adequate answer to that question. Next question comes from @JustHeathers, which is, what have been the most important connections you've made prior to launching this channel and then over the past year that have helped you get to this point, resources you've used, people who have inspired you or you've learned from, and friendships you've made, etc. So as far as inspiration, it's basically just other booktubers. I just watched other booktubers for a good half a year or so, and then I was like, I want to do this too. So it's kind of just getting inspiration from other people, seeing how other people do their videos and things like that. Plus I've, done videos myself before, so kind of drawing on that as well. You know, in terms of specifics, I would say one of the biggest ones for me is actually someone who I've become quite good friends with now, Jonathan Cohn, who kind of inspired me in the sense of doing Star Wars books and fantasy books and all that stuff, and especially with Star Wars books and media tie-in fiction in general, which is something I'm quite interested in and cover a lot of on this channel, especially with Star Wars. Actually realizing that a booktube channel approach with something like that was actually feasible, that was quite inspiring to me and really kind of made me interested in pursuing that with the channel. And then other booktubers in general, you know, Daniel Green, Murphy Napier, Mike's Book Reviews, even more recently some ones that I didn't discover until after I started the channel, like Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews. They've all been inspiring in some way, and I, you know, have really enjoyed their videos as well, and all that stuff. As far as other connections prior to launching the channel, I actually have a Twitter account, or an X account, whatever it's now called, that I had been running for a couple of years, where I posted a lot of Star Wars stuff, and I also posted some book stuff prior to making an actual book-focused account. And some people who followed me on there, you know, kind of followed me over to the channel and all that stuff, which was super nice. So actually having that previously existing platform kind of helped me a little bit with, and not necessarily everybody who followed me over there then came over here, but some people definitely did, which was super nice. And just making friends and talking to people about books. You know, there's some people that I've talked to. Shout out to Jonathan and Bullrun and Alex, who all watch my videos, who I have talked to frequently about books or just generally other stuff, who, you know, kind of have helped out the channel, continue to support me and what I do and all that stuff. You know, that's pretty much all I have to go into, I guess. Friendships, like, again, just talking to some people, and yeah, I'm not sure that's a very good answer to this question, so I apologize if that's the case. But you know, just generally, I already had a decent platform where I could kind of share what I was doing, and people who are interested in what I had to say from there who came over here, and people that I've been able to talk to. Not a whole lot of like real life, you know, people who have influenced me or helped me along, because I don't know a whole lot of people who are interested in these kinds of things. So really it's basically just been the few connections with people that I've had online who have shared these interests and been willing to watch my videos and support the channel and discuss these things with me and all that stuff. So I hope that is a decent answer to your question. So the third and final person who asked a question comes from @DannyJohnson92, who says, "Well done, Caleb. I don't know if I can read my own handwriting here. This is the one downside to writing these down. Truly," that's the word that I'm looking at, "enjoyed your content over the past year. Thank you." Well, thank you for enjoying it. I'm glad that you have, you know, gotten something out of these videos. And you, I think, have been a pretty long time viewer of the channel as well, which is super cool. How much have your reading habits changed over the past year? Do you find that you're reading more than you were before you had the channel? Have you had to drop some of your other hobbies in order to make time for this? Okay, so I'm gonna tackle each of these individually. So, how much have my reading habits changed? Not a huge amount. I would say they have increased a bit. You know, as I don't even know if it's necessarily due to specifically the channel, but just because I've been reading more, it makes me then able to read more. You know, I read a little faster now. So for example, the first half of last year, my page count on average each month was probably around 1,500 to 2,000, whereas now it's usually somewhere in the 2,500 to 3,000 range. So my reading habits have changed in the sense that I just am able to read more now because I've spent more time reading and kind of built those muscles, so to speak. So there's that. Do you find I am reading more than I was? Yes. Again, not necessarily because of the channel, though partially because of the channel, because I want to make sure that I have plenty of stuff to talk about and, you know, actually have enough books read to consistently put out videos. But yeah, just generally, you know, being able to read more often and setting that time aside has helped me to get more used to it and able to read more things and do it a bit faster and all that stuff. And then, have I had to drop some of my other hobbies in order to make time for this? Not really, actually. Ever since I started getting back into reading, a few years ago now, or I guess, 2.5 years ago, something like that, I've actually been lucky enough that a lot of my reading I've been able to do at work. I've had several jobs in the last couple of years where basically a lot of the job was just downtime. So I was basically able to spend a lot of time reading there as well. And then also in terms of spending less time on hobbies, not necessarily to do reading, but to actually make these videos, that has been impacted because I have to spend some time recording these videos. Usually for an average video is somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes a bit less than that, maybe 10 to 15. It really depends. But I've had to spend time, recording the videos, and I have to edit them, which usually takes me about as long as the video itself is, maybe with an extra couple minutes. And then I have to, render the videos and all that kind of thing, make the thumbnails. But that isn't really something that I consider a huge detriment, because usually, making a video entirely takes me like an hour or less, usually. But also because video editing itself is one of my hobbies, which is part of the reason why I also wanted to do this channel, because I enjoyed the process of video editing back when I've had other channels. I don't even know why necessarily, and even like with these videos, I don't heavily edit them. It's just, cutting and making sure everything flows together and all that stuff basically is all I do, but I just enjoy the process of putting videos together. So even then, that's still kind of a hobby of mine. So it's basically just replacing a little bit of time with my other hobbies with a different hobby. So, in terms of actually making the videos, I have had to cut back slightly on other stuff, but that hasn't really negatively impacted things all that much. And as far as, outside of that, I have had to spend a little less time on other hobbies. I also spend a lot of time playing video games. That's another big hobby of mine. I like to watch YouTube videos. I also write music, things like that, which all of those things have kind of lessened over the last year or so, because I had a child last May, who is now 15 months old, I believe. So it's kind of lessened because of that as well. But so my already shorter amount of time that I have for my hobbies, in terms of like if I'm reading at home, like on the weekends or something like that, I do have to spend a bit less time doing those things, but I really enjoy reading. So it's not really, like I am spending my time doing something that I enjoy less. It's just a different activity. So I have had to drop some hobbies to a lesser degree at times, but generally it hasn't been too much. I've still been able to keep up with doing my hobbies. Again, not as often as I used to, because I'm a parent now and all that stuff, and that requires a lot of responsibility and a lot of paying attention to my child and all that stuff. But in terms of purely reading impacting my other hobbies, it's actually not been too drastic, which is nice. I still get to do some of the things that I already enjoy doing, still get to spend plenty of time with the family and all that stuff. So that is basically my answer to that question. So that is pretty much it for these questions. So thank you to the three of you, Jeremy, Heather, and Danny, for asking these questions. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing me answer them and all of that stuff. So that is pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and once again, thank you for supporting this channel for 1 year. I hope to continue this channel for still a long time yet to come, as long as nothing really weird happens. So that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.